Hello everyone, welcome back to Chemical Engineering and Aspen channel. As you know, these days we are focusing on the subject of heat transfer operations. So in this regard, we are bringing the lecture number 7 for our valuable viewers. In our previous lectures, or if we talk about the start of this series, we have initially studied the difference between the thermodynamics and heat transfer. We studied the driving force of heat transfer, the application of heat transfer in the real world or real life. Then we shifted to modes of heat transfer, which includes convection, conduction, and radiation. We started with the conduction. We studied the law of conduction, which is the Fourier's law of heat conduction. We studied the thermal conductivity concept. We have solved the various numericals related to the main concept and thermal conductivity in our previous lectures. In our today's lecture, we will move to the convection, and first we will see the introduction of the convection, the different types of convection, and the role of convection with phase change. So before starting our main lecture today, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon to get all updates related to this channel. So starting with the convection, it is the mode of energy transfer between a solid surface and the adjacent liquid or gas that is in motion, and that includes combined effects of conduction and fluid motion. As we studied that if there is a solid surface and if there is a fluid which is either liquid or gas is passing through it, and the heat transfer between these two media will be called as the conduction. If there is no bulk motion of the fluid which is in the system, or if there is a micro level motion, we will call it as the conduction, as we have seen in our previous slides or previous concepts. The faster the fluid motion, the greater will be the convection heat transfer. The convective heat transfer rate will be higher with the increase in the movement of the fluid. However, in the absence of any bulk fluid motion, as I have just informed you a couple of moments ago, that if there is no bulk fluid motion, there will be no convection phenomena. It will be called as the conduction phenomena. So accordingly, it is justified over here that in the absence of any bulk fluid motion, the heat transfer between a solid surface and the adjacent fluid is by pure conduction. It means that if there is a fluid present but there is no bulk motion involved, the heat transfer mechanism will change to conduction, but if there is bulk motion of fluid, then the mechanism will change to convection. The presence of bulk motion of the fluid enhances the heat transfer between the solid surface and the fluid, but obviously it will complicate the heat transfer rate calculations, and we have to obviously see those calculations in our upcoming lectures. This is the overall concept of the convection. Going to the types of convection, there are mainly two types of convection. Number one is the natural or free convection, while the second one is the forced convection. Going to the natural or free convection, the main concept is that if the fluid motion is caused by the buoyancy forces that are induced by density difference due to the variation of temperature in the fluid, obviously, once there is a heat transfer, there is a difference of temperature created within the fluid, and accordingly, because of that, the density difference occurs, and because of that density difference, the movement of heat takes place or the transfer of heat takes place. Now going to the second type of convection, which is the forced convection. And in this convection mode, obviously it is forced. It means we have some external source for the convection medium, which means that if the fluid is forced to flow over the surface by external means such as a fan, pump, or the wind. So just look at this example that there is a hot egg and air is passing through it. Obviously, there is a heat exchange over here. This is the bulk motion of fluid. This is the solid surface of egg. So accordingly, the heat transfer here will be the convection. Now, this convection is naturally occurring because once there is an increase in temperature of air, the density of air decreases, and accordingly, warm air will move upward. So, this is the buoyancy or the density difference because of the temperature. And in forced convection, you can see that a fan or a blower is installed which pushes the air this way. Obviously, again, it is a bulk motion of the fluid, which is air in this case, and the convection mode is happening over here. But you can see the main difference that natural convection means it is free convection. There is no external media applied to it. But in forced convection, we have applied external media to carry out the convection process. Obviously, the forced convection process will be speedier, will be, you can say, much in intensity as compared to the natural convection process. Natural convection process will be slow, while that will be a fast process. So this is the information about the types of convection in our today's lecture. Going to the last part, that whether convection has any role with the change of phase, as we say that we have heated a substance and its phase is changed, for example, from liquid to gas. So whether there is any role in this system of convection or not. So heat transfer processes which involve the change of phase of a fluid are also considered to be of convection because of the fluid motion induced during the process, such as the rise of vapor bubbles during boiling or the fall of liquid droplets during condensation. For example, if you heat a cup which includes water, the heat will be transferred to the solid surface of this cup, and then the heat will be transferred from solid surface to the liquid medium, which is water. Now we are saying that the rise of vapor bubbles during boiling. So once the water starts boiling, we say the phenomena to be convection or convective process. In the condensation process, the opposite happens. The vapor is condensed to liquid. So accordingly, again, there is some heat transfer. In boiling, there will be a hot media or hot utility, while in condensation, there will be a cold utility or cooling media. So accordingly, with the heat transfer, we will say that this is a convection process which is happening over here in these two processes. So this is the overall information of convection in our today's lecture, which we have elaborated. Number one was the introduction of convection. Number two was the types of convection. And number three was the role of convection in the change of phase or phase change process. So that's it from today's lecture. Thank you so much. In the next lecture, we will study the Newton's law of cooling, which is applicable for convection, and then we will solve a numerical in our next lecture. So I would request to please stay tuned with us, watch the video, like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Also click on the bell icon to get all updates related to this channel. Till then, it's goodbye. Stay tuned for more exciting videos on this channel.